Hello, everybody. Give me 1 second while I come on live here on Facebook. We are also on YouTube. So, hey, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan. Not throwing rocks.
Not throwing rocks.
His heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. Sadiq, let me move this over here, too, so y'all can see my face on YouTube. So, anyway, yes. His heart don't pump no Kool-Aid.
That's right.
He is not afraid of nobody.
That's it. Because I am economically free.
Oh, excuse me.
And when you're economically free, you can just go and do what you want. The chains have been removed, and you are free. You are literally free.
All right, now. I'm on my way, brother.
You're on your way?
I'm on my way.
Real quick.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, real quick before you start, Citizens for Waiting. I've been getting a lot of messages about our South Africa trip, and are we really going to go? And are you not worried about the danger over there?
All right. Well, remind me to talk about that just a little bit during our commercial break.
All right.
All right. So, hello, everybody. As I said, once again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to Donovan. Marcus, I don't see him. He'll come on a little bit later. As always, thank you to Facebook. You guys are the original audience, the ride or die and all that. Also, thank you to those on YouTube who will eventually see the produced video, which is why you see the green screen here on you guys on Facebook. You see the green screen. Also, thank you to everybody listening on the podcast. We have iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Podbean, and I don't know what else we have, but we have a lot going on. And so I say thank you as always for being here. The purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all the things that go on in our community to make us an even better people. And so I hope you guys were able to see the topic. The topic that we're going to be covering is called Distracted While Black. Now, of course, a lot of you guys probably can ascertain where I'm going with this. And so we'll go ahead and get started. I was trying to give people a little bit more time to come on here, but we'll go ahead and get started because, you know, as usual, we'll go all over the place. And so I just want to start with this. Okay, so let me get into it. And hello to everybody. And I promise, as usual, I will read everyone's comments that comes across the screen. All right, so let's get started, okay? Distracted while black. Thank you, bestie. Distracted while black. Okay, so over the last couple of months, there has been a lot of things that has kept us distracted. Now, we've always been distracted, so let's not get it twisted, okay? But I'm talking about as of late, we've been like super distracted. All right, so I'm talking about recent events. So, and I hate to keep talking about it, but you know, what are we going to do, right? All right, so R. Kelly has finally been indicted on 10 counts of sexual assault on girls. And I always forget my microphone, too.
Yes, and could you put that over a little bit more?
One more second, y'all. Let me get adjusted here like that.
More.
See, now I'm out of... So you're going to have to move that over.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so R. Kelly has finally been indicted on 10 counts of sexual assault on girls and women ranging from 13 to 18. Okay, now...
He's innocent!
Okay, don't go there. Please, please. All right. But before that, the Lifetime movie held us captive for weeks, and they're getting ready to do it again. To hold us captive again because they're going to show the docu-series again.
Wow.
Next couple of
reinforcing our minds.
I guess. I'm not going to see it because I didn't watch it. But, okay, so while that movie might have shed some light on sexual abuse, the sex abuse accusations, the whole thing has had the black community at each other's throats. People are unfriending others over their opinions about the case, calling each other out of their names, and so on and so forth, okay? I mean, I'm like, why are you unfriending people over their opinions? So what? You know, I mean, unless they're saying something that's really egregious and stupid, but whatever. All right, so now we have Jussie Smollett and his drama has kept us distracted too. He lied about being attacked by white supremacists because he was black and gay. While we were posting hashtag for Jussie and calling each other homophobic for not believing his shenanigans, what were we really missing? Like, what other stuff were we missing? Okay, hold that thought. Now that he has been arrested for felony falsifying a police report, we've shifted our arguments to, well, maybe he's been set up by the police. Because I've heard people say, well, you know, the police lie. And, you know, maybe they're not telling the truth. You know what? All that is possible. But again, we're still being distracted. I'm not saying the police don't lie. We know they do. I'm just not sure if it's true in his case. Okay. Then we've also heard, well, white women do it. Yes, we know white women do it, lie on, especially black men all the time and get away with it. Yes, they get away with it like all the time. Okay. And so that's not my point though, but that's besides my point. Okay. So let's not forget about Gucci. It's had us all wrapped up into their blackface drama too. At the end of the day, Jussie and R. Kelly made their beds, and unfortunately, they must lie in it. I wish them the best. Now, and Gucci ain't sorry about it, and neither is Burberry or any other high-end fashion designers that feel the need to fashion clothing with nooses and blackface. They're not sorry, so it's like, okay, next. All right? So, we have bigger fish to fry. So, what are we being distracted for? Okay, pay attention, because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but this is the stuff that I kind of just thought of off the top of my head. Number one, Black people in America still give 97% of our money away to the oppressor, okay? We are below or at the poverty line, like drastically, compared to everyone else, okay? Now, second, Black people are still being murdered wholesale by the police. That's just a fact. Every time you turn on the news or you watch, you're on Facebook or whatever, you see somebody Black being murdered by the police, okay? Number three, a Black woman by the name of Tamla Horsford. You guys heard of her? In Georgia, was found dead at an adult sleepover where she was the only Black. She was, I guess, some football mom, something like that, and she was found face down dead. They said that she fell over a balcony, and oops, she died. They said it was, I think, alcohol poisoning or something. But it turns out that, like I said, she was the only Black person at the sleepover. Why? I don't know. Also, there were three other men there, and some of them were police officers, and so they disguised everything that pretty much happened to her. They found a whole bunch of blunt force trauma all over her body. And so it's been covered up until recently. Okay, so we've been distracted from stuff like that. Number four, Chakesia Clemens. You guys remember her from the Waffle House where she was attacked by the police and they pulled her shirt down, and you know that's a sexual assault as far as I'm concerned. Okay, well she is on trial. It's a retrial because she was found guilty of disorderly conduct and resisting arrest, and so she was granted a new trial. So while we're being distracted by Jussie and R. Kelly and all these other people, we have like real people. I'm not saying those people aren't real, but people really going through some things. You know what I mean? Okay, and number five, an elementary school in Virginia thought it was cool to have students play a game of moving through the Underground Railroad for Black History Month.
Oh, yeah. I saw a little clip on that. Very interesting.
Out of all the stuff they could have did for Black History Month, we going to move through the Underground Railroad.
Right. Let me show you how you niggas crawl.
I mean, I'm just like, what was the point? So anyway, that kind of stuff is going on. Number six, a prominent newspaper publisher in Alabama called on the KKK to get ropes and clean up D.C. and was unapologetic about it. Now, you only know if he's calling to get ropes for the KKK to clean up D.C. You know he ain't, hell, Black people easy. We already doing that to them. Now we need to go to Washington and do it to them. And when he was asked about it, he's been fired now, obviously. And ironically, a Black woman is taking his place. But when they asked about it, he's like, yeah, I said it. And I'm doubling down. I think we need to do this.
Trump.
All right, let's go and get some ropes, KKK. Okay, and then so, let's see. Number seven, U.S. hate groups rose to the tune of 30% from 2015 up until now due to a lot of Trump's rhetoric on race. Saying a lot of racist stuff or not, shunning racism. So 30%, you guys, hate groups, 30% in 4 years. Where are these people? Now, admittedly, they labeled the Nation of Islam a hate group. But what's new, right? All right, and so number 8. Okay, an Arkansas legislator proposed a law to cut lunch funding to schools that struggle to improve reading skills. All right. Well, who do you guys think that's going to affect? Well, let me help you out here. Per ourweekly.com, as of 2009, the Department of Education reported that literacy rates for more than 50% of African American children in the 4th grade nationwide was below basic skills and far below average. And by the 9th grade nationwide, the situation had gotten worse with the rate dropping below 44%. So
why is anybody surprised by that? When you let your kids do these little chats and tweets and stuff.
And we're going to get into that, but the point that I'm making is, so this legislator wants to cut free lunch or lunch programming.
They're already doing that.
For people, for schools who are underperforming as far as reading. That predominantly affects us.
Right, but they're already doing that when it comes to the tax cuts, the Bush, the Trump tax cuts.
Well, they want to do it even more, okay?
Right.
And we also know that when a child is hungry at school, they really don't function. So what's really going on here, right? Okay, so I think I'm on number 9. Gentrification is still happening in our neighborhoods. That is causing more and more people to become homeless, okay? So it says in the 1990s, 9% of our neighborhoods were being gentrified. And now it's up to 20% of our neighborhoods are being gentrified, okay? I also saw a report that was talking about the homelessness that is being created by these gentrified neighborhoods. I mean, a lot of these people who are homeless, like sleeping in their cars, they have jobs. They just can't afford to live there anymore. Like one lady saying that her rent was $1,000 and it went up to $3,000. And I guess the building that she was in was bought and sold to somebody else, and so she couldn't afford to stay there. So her and her daughter, and she says she's sleeping. She has a 2006 BMW truck that's paid off, but they're sleeping in this truck. I mean, that's another thing. And so, okay, number 10, Black people are still the most unhealthy people on earth. Just one tidbit here. There's a whole lot of things we're unhealthy about, but 43% of the new HIV diagnoses belong to us.
Of course.
Predominantly Black women. And with that, we know why, but we won't get into that right now.
Yeah, don't get me started.
11. Okay. Black people are still stagnant in regards to population. We're about 13% now. In 1960, we were 10%. Now, let's just do a comparison. In 1960, Hispanics were at 3%. You want to take a guess at what they're at now?
7%.
17.
17. That's 10 off.
Hispanics are now 17% of the population, so they have surpassed us. Black people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. I know you knew that, but Black people used to be second in the population.
Yes.
And the number 1 in population in regards to people of color, if you will. But now we are third. And we're getting ready to be passed up by Asians.
Vietnamese, Asian as a group.
Right.
Koreans.
So, okay. So now, can you guys all think of some more things that we are being distracted from? And what do we need to do to fix the problem? So like I said, that was just some things that I came off the top of my head and saw trending on a lot of my timeline and my news feeds and stuff. And just to the point of like the Asians that are getting ready to pass us in regards to population. Yesterday, I was in a very affluent neighborhood, Chino Hills. I'm not talking about like the regular Chino. I'm talking about Chino Hills. Yes, I mean, I had to wind and drive.
Which is a town here in California that is less than 20 years old, and it is predominantly Asian.
So I'm waiting to turn into this neighborhood, and like 10 cars that was turning out was luxury cars, and all were driven by Asians. And I thought, all right, we see you, you know. And so anyway, I'm going to get to you guys' comments. So what can we do to fix that? And what other things are we being distracted from? Now, I know we're going to get into the whole R. Kelly thing. I do have my opinion. You guys want to talk about Justin? Anything else you want to talk about today? Please bring it up so we can chop it up. All right.
All right. I get real quick. The thing with the Asians and why Chino Hills is doing a thing like that. Do you think it's okay? Now, have you noticed that in these different groups? They're not dealing with the foolishness. Their music doesn't say it. Their culture, I mean, you got some in the hip hop, but it's not like all encompassing like ours is.
Well, I think music has a little to do with it, but it's obviously a little bit deeper than that. And reparations. So if you could write that down and remind me why I brought that up as far as your comment. All right. And so I want to say again, hello to everyone. Hey, Romel, what's happening? Hey, Hannah, what's up, Samuel? And then Brian says, looking good, bestie.
Oh, okay.
Asada says, you look great, sis. Oh, thank you so much.
Wait, where's Deanna?
She's doing her own YouTube stuff.
Oh, right on. Okay.
With her friends.
Oh, she didn't want me to produce it? I only charge $1,000 an episode.
I mean, you know Deanna.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And Brian, R. Kelly said he's broke. Yes, He can't even make. Well, they gave him a
He's still in
$1 million
jail.
bail, and he only needs 100,000, but he's having trouble coming up with it. But I think most people knew he was broke. In addition, now his ex-wife is like, "Oh yeah, you owe me $160,000, and basically you should go to jail." And so if he gets out, he could go back to jail for being in arrears.
Well, actually, he was held in contempt. He has to come up with the money by March 3rd or 6th or something like
child
that.
support.
So if he's still in jail and has to come up with that money, he has to deal with that contempt
which
thing.
March is up the street. We're like at the
Next
last
week.
arrest.
Next
So
week.
He
It's
might
next
be
week.
walking out and walking right back.
Or he might be, look, from one handcuff jurisdiction to the next.
Right. Golly.
So
I don't know what to say. And so Hannafy says, our information is spoon-fed by the wizard. Even if we focus on something else in the media, he has produced that too. Yeah. And right now we have a lot of things going on as far as black media. If you guys just go on YouTube, there's so many black media outlets. Of course, we see some on Facebook, but Facebook is not as liberal with black media as YouTube is. And so if you go there, I mean, there's a lot of black media outlets that's giving us a lot of information and knowledge. But you're right. It's a lot of stuff we see are talking points, and we're just like you said, spoon-fed them, and we go along with it, not even question it, which is why I kind of understand why people are saying, well, how do we know Jussie wasn't set up or the police is not lying? I mean, we don't know that. But then it's like, come on. All black people ain't innocent. I mean, let's just keep it real. Right. Some of us be up to some nonsense.
Sure. Comment just came up. Wow, chat. R. Kelly has money to take care of those 2 girls.
Maybe.
Well, they're still with him.
Yeah, right. I mean,
I saw a video where they had the security around them as they're walking out. They showed up to support the dad, and and it's really sad when you're for men. Let me say this: it does not look good when you're behind on child support and you are funding a lifestyle for your side pieces or whatever. So, I mean, I'm not saying, I don't know the situation, but the way it looks doesn't look good.
Yeah, well, you got to take care of your kids. And so Ryan says, Donovan, you hiding. He's the wizard behind the curtain.
Yes, I'm the wizard behind the curtain. Yes, well, the thing is, I'm going to be doing a lot of typing on the chat. Yes, so it's kind of hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Chatting. I don't want to distract from Demetra doing her thing. And
Solomon, he says, that happens all the time. And how are you doing? And Holland says, what's up, Demetra K? What's up to you? And Ramel says, I'll preference my arguments with saying I love you. That being said, go into the arguments, okay? Hey, Jesse. Hey, Tay. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see any more comments, and I'll address when I get them. So, and then if you can remind me of the stuff that you wrote. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, we're very distracted. We've always been distracted. But it's like, have we ever just thought and said, why is all this stuff happening? Now, okay, I'm not talking about the whole R. Kelly thing. We kind of know why it's happening. I mean, a lot of that he did to himself. Mm-hmm. I don't know if all of the allegations are true. And in all fairness to R. Kelly, if that's even a thing to say, he hasn't been found guilty of anything, even from the past allegations. I will also say this. Michael Avenatti, he is the lawyer that was representing Stormy Daniels.
He's still representing her.
Still representing Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels is the one. Hey, Jonelle. He says hi to you as well.
All right.
Stormy Daniels is the one that was paid by the president, or Michael Cohen, President Trump's fixer, $30,000 for sex. And so he had denied it and stuff. And so he represents Stormy Daniels. And now, hey, Richard. So now he somehow somebody, I guess one of somebody's R. Kelly's peoples, gave him a new tape. Nobody's seen it that I know of. Well, I guess the DA in Chicago seen it. So he ends up with this new sex tape of a 14-year-old, and they're clearly saying it's R. Kelly. That's what they're saying. I haven't seen it. I will not watch it. But this, I'm gonna be nice. I can't even think of a strong enough word to call this man. He puts up stills of the, I guess from the video of R. Kelly. Now, you can't see the girl, but you can see that he's doing something sexual.
Is he peeing on her?
No, I don't think he's peeing on her. But I'm like, okay, so it's cool to exploit this black girl even further to further your career? And I was like, because if this is a white girl, he wouldn't have never done that. But I don't even blame Michael. You know who I blame? I blame us. Because we are so, we want the dirt. We want the sensationalism. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And truthfully, if we were really interested in shutting R. Kelly down, we would have shut R. Kelly down a long time ago.
We would have shut him down with the Aaliyah
with the
allegations.
Aaliyah thing. We would have shut him down. We weren't really interested in doing that. And I'm not saying all of us, but overall, we weren't really interested in doing that until Lifetime came about. And that's all everybody could talk about for 2 or 3 weeks. And so now you have this white lawyer who's gotten a hold of it, and he's going to ride it all the way to the,
all the way to fame.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he's accusing R. Kelly of exploiting this girl or these girls, but he's doing the same thing. But what are we going to do about it? We'll probably, tune in every time he puts up something in regards to that video. I mean, it's like, why would you want to watch that?
Right.
And so Al says, all Black people aren't innocent. I can't believe that what I'm hearing. He's so silly. Listen, I mean, if we're dealing absolutes, we're going to come up short. All of anybody is not innocent. But, Jussie hasn't technically been found guilty. He just, a lot of holes in this story to where the Chicago PD is like, yeah, this dude made this mess up, okay? And Samuel says, white people have a history of false reports on Black people. Police shoot is down in the streets and no jail time. Well, we know that. White people do that all the time, but this is another thing, mistake I think we're making. I know you guys know this, but we know that the system, especially the legal system or any system in America, was never designed for Black people. It was always designed for the benefit of white people and at the, how can I say this, detriment of us. It was always designed to keep us subjugated and lift up white people. So yeah, does it suck that somebody like Carolyn Bryant, a white woman, accused Emmett Till of whistling at her and he loses his life? And then a couple years ago, I guess she's remorseful about saying, oh, well, I wasn't necessarily telling the truth, you guys. Does it suck that she's free? Yeah, it sucks. But that's who the laws were made for. They were made to protect her. These damsels in distress. Oh, and then Jussie too. What a dumbass. I mean, I just hate to say it, but it's like, it comes out that he's mad about his pay on Empire, so he concocts this whole story. And then once that's not going over well for him, then he says, oh, I'm addicted to drugs. Yeah. It's like, you really are reading out of these white people playbook, aren't you? That don't work for you.
Now, let me ask you this. If you're seeing all this stuff in the playbook, why are people seeing the same playbook when it comes to Kamala Harris?
Oh, God. Write that down.
Write that down.
Okay. Let's see. Al said, I would rather see R. Kelly get the death penalty. Oh, well. Oh, God.
Well, you got to remember, Al has daughters.
I mean, I get it. I don't know about the death penalty. I mean, listen. Since we're going to talk about R. Kelly, this is my opinion on R. Kelly. I've always known about R. Kelly for years. Years, especially like you said, after the Aaliyah thing. Mm-hmm. Jim DeRogatis, he's a reporter that has followed R. Kelly for about 25 years, and I'm documenting a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is documented.
And he was at the press conference, and he was cursing up a storm.
Yeah, but he's followed R. Kelly and the stuff that he's done for years. I mean, it's a mess. And so R. Kelly has obviously done some things. What exactly, we don't know for sure, but I just think he's got to answer for that. He's got to answer
for it. And the people
it.
who have
everybody who has aided and abetted him in his behavior, they need to answer for that. Listen, I understand. I understand R. Kelly makes great music. He's a
genius.
He's a genius. He's a music. The dude is work.
Can't read, but he's a genius.
You know what? He can't read, but he's a genius.
Yeah, no, I mean that was his love.
Got it. I think this is what we're gonna have to do. Like Brian McKnight has that song "One Last Cry." Before I leave it all behind, I think that's what we're gonna have to get with R. Kelly. I'm not wishing him bad, but he's got what he's got coming to him. It's something he's earned, and so I think we just. While we love R. Kelly's music, we're going to have to cut him loose, at least until he serves his debt to society. That's all I have to say really about that. And so Tay says, please will excuse moral behavior for the sake of a good beat. Or so you said people will excuse immoral behavior for the sake of a good beat. We as a community need to stop dismissing sexual predators and sexual assault. We must protect our Black girls. No, absolutely. And to your point, that's unfortunately... sexual predators like R. Kelly is nothing new. And it's not even exclusive to men. We have women who do the stuff. I mean, because he even said, just for himself that he was sexually abused by women as well. So sexual abuse in our community it's really rampant, and we've been in a habit of sweeping it under the rug because we don't want our dirty laundry out. That needs to stay in the house. We don't need to. We gonna deal with it here. I mean, even in the church.
Somebody says here, what about the Harvey Weinstein? Why is it so quick for us to put our men under the bus versus a Harvey Weinstein or Woody Allen?
I mean, that's a fair question. I mean, I think sexual abuse is sexual abuse. Again,
I guess what they're saying is we're piling on.
It's a fair question. It's a fair question from 2 points. One is because, again, those laws benefit Harvey. That's just the kind of stuff they do.
And by the way, for those that haven't kept on Harvey, the charges were dropped.
Yeah, the charges were dropped. A lot of charges were dropped on Kevin Spacey. So those laws were designed to protect white people. It's just a fact. Now, why we dogpile our own people because we are just conditioned to do that. Now, I don't want to say dogpile like dogpiling and holding them accountable are not one and the same. We should hold each other accountable, but yeah, we do tend to go harder on our own people than we do other people, And then let's see. Jonelle says these whites have walked from raping babies, children, women, animals, etc. Not defending anyone who rapes, but it only shows that a nation of criminals and liars can't give justice without bias. Let's see. There will always be an imbalance with the oppressor at the head of justice. It must be separation or death. Yeah, I mean, to what I just said, I meing, that's just, those laws are designed for them. And it's, the stuff that they do is not new.
But, watching the internet and seeing especially on YouTube, the sisters piling on, talking about we got him and rejoicing. Like I said, I think this is a tragedy all the way around for all the victims that are involved. The girls whose parents, that they're still not talking to their parents and so on. I mean, it's just a tragedy all around. But for people to be joyous in the fact when we don't know all the facts, we don't know what's going down.
I mean, and this is my thing too. I believe R. Kelly is a monster. I'll go on record 100 times saying that. But I don't believe everybody who is coming forward is a victim either. But to me, one victim is enough, especially if she was a child. I mean, what else do we need? But I agree. That's not something we should be joyous over. Yeah, I guess there is some relief that he's being held accountable, but
there is a presumption of innocence.
Each other.
Right, there is a presumption of innocence. And remember, they had him on tape 20 years ago with that girl, and he walked.
Well, we know why he walked.
Yeah, we know, right. but that's what I'm saying. To be all joyous, you don't know what the outcome is going to come.
True. I mean, he might get a jury of his peers. People like, shit, I'm stepping in the name of love. This man ain't guilty. I mean, you never know.
Exactly.
And so Al says, one other reason I'm glad R. Kelly is finally locked up, you won't have to hear him call himself that annoying BS Kells. Really, that's silly.
I thought it was Pied Piper.
Well, Pied Piper of R&B, but now we know what the Pied Piper was really about, Hey, Richard, he says, I look forward to your show weekly. Sending love from Texas. Hey.
What part of Texas?
What part of Texas are you from?
Yeah, Wichita Falls.
Is that where you from?
No, that's where I spent a lot of my time.
You must have had a boo thing in Wichita.
No, that's where I went to Air Force training down in that area.
And then you also say, fuck Jesse Senior, Junior, Jesse, and Robert Trash Can to them all.
Wow.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yes, please.
Terry says, I agree that he needs to pay Dimitri. Yeah, he does. I get it, you guys. I love R. Kelly's music too. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, I still do. I don't listen to it anymore. I haven't for a long time. And so my whole beef with the whole thing was like, why do we need Lifetime to do that for us? We should have been held R. Kelly accountable. We and the mamas and the parents who kept shoving their young daughters in his face, knowing who he was. Like, y'all need to be going to jail too.
Or, think of Michael Jackson.
Hey, Loria.
I love Michael Jackson, but I wouldn't leave my children with him.
Yeah, I mean,
just based on what I know.
I just want to err on the side of caution. I mean, golly, it was a fact that he married Aaliyah when she was 15. It's just a fact.
Fact.
And somebody argued with me, this dude, this gets on my nerves. But he was like, well, 15 and is legal in a lot of places, and how these fast girls and whoop-de-whoop.
No, it's not legal. It's legal between a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old.
Some places, the age of consent, I think maybe 16.
16,
I don't know about
I think it's
15.
16, yeah.
I said, well, if it was legal, then why did they lie on her birth certificate? Why not just say she was 15?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Durr. And Loria says, hey, D, your hair looks great. I know my niece did it beautiful. Yes, she did, girl. You know what? She'll have to come back and do it again. She did it almost 3 weeks ago, but my hair grows so fast. I got roots. But yes, Big Brittany is fabulous. And Richard says, Harvey Weinstein is another issue. We're cleaning our own yard first.
Okay.
I like that.
I do.
You know, because even if we could do something or we put our attention to Harvey, they're not going to listen to us. They're not going to do anything to Harvey because we said it. I mean, let's be honest. They didn't even do anything to R. Kelly until white folks got a hold of him.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just the truth. You know, and Jim DeRogatis, who has written a lot about R. Kelly and done a lot of research, he says, I learned that the least cared about person in the world is black women and black girls.
Yeah.
After doing all this research, because he said this stuff is in plain sight. Like, he's paid off a lot of families. The girl in the video, the last video, 14-year-old, her grandmama, the pastor, her teachers, the cousins, and just everybody was like, yes, that's her.
Yes. Now notice that you did not mention the father.
So everybody said that was her, but the parents was like, no, you know, that is not her. She said it wasn't her. And Jim DeRogatis said that he would go to their house trying to get an interview, and he said that they were gone to the south of France for 6 months. Yeah. And they lived on the south side of Chicago. He said their house was like torn up. And he's like, there's no way these people are affording to go to the south of France for 6 months. Clearly, R. Kelly sent them there.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of documentation that he's paid off a lot of families of these girls. And so
the trial took 6 years to come to.
That's just that one.
Yeah.
Right. And so to the other point about the video of the one nearly 20 years ago, the jury said, we believe that it was him, but the complaining witness said it wasn't her. Well, she wasn't the complaining witness.
Right. Without the witness, you don't have a case.
Yeah, she said it wasn't me, so they didn't have a case. But there was never any doubt in their mind that it was him. And then they also said that during that trial, R. Kelly was out there getting another number from another 14-year-old.
Yeah, the girl that was supporting it.
She was skipping school. Right.
Now, you know, for that author to be surprised that our young black girls and black women are the least discounted people on the planet in the United States, have you noticed that when the father is not in the home protecting his daughters, and I'm sure Al...
Well, her family was in the home.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm just saying in general.
Oh, yeah.
This new phenomena that we have where they're going to go out there and take the welfare system that says get the father out of there, whatever, and they don't honor marriage. I'm very sure Al will back me up on this. When a father is involved with his daughters, he is protecting them.
Right. I mean, I agree, you know, but even if I'm playing devil's advocate here. Even if a father is not in the home to protect their daughters, I mean, it's
a relationship.
Everybody is that still a red flag for a predator to prey on them? I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm just asking the question.
Well, you know, I would think so. If you don't have the silverback gorilla protecting his territory, and I see you as a vulnerable young girl, and there's nobody there to check me, I'm not worried about your mama. I'm not worried about her.
You'd be ready if
well, your mama, I would. Yeah, your mom. But you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Al
easy
says,
pickings.
R. Kelly didn't have the bail money, so does that make him piss poor? You stupid. Yeah, it makes him in a bad situation, that's for sure. And Jonelle says, that's the reality. This is a true biased injustice system to the detriment of mainly blacks and then all powerful in society, civilized society. There wouldn't be any predators. They wouldn't execute those that abuse women and children, but it's plenty R. Kelly's in police uniforms, government uniforms. We are a black nation that needs our own. No, absolutely. The R. Kelly's in your words are everywhere.
Everywhere.
As I said, when they got mad at me, I said, yes, okay, R. Kelly's been held accountable, good and great. Now let's hold everybody else accountable. Because I know in everybody's family, maybe not everybody's family, but we know somebody who is a predator in the neighborhood. And we just like, oh, you know, that old Jimbo, he liked them young girls.
True story. I have an uncle who was incarcerated twice now for a rape.
See?
And he's only a couple years older than me, you know, maybe like 6. No, I think maybe he's like 6 years older than me at the most. Incarcerated for rape. And I'm going to show you how crazy things got. When he got convicted the second time, they threw a party for him because he was going away. He's out now. Don't get me wrong. But did you see how the
Insanity.
The insanity, or
Yes.
there's something going on in our
Right,
communities.
you didn't, this is your second rape and you going away.
Right.
So let us have you a catfish dinner.
But you know, a lot of people that are going in for bids, that's what they're. Oh, he's going away. Let's throw a party. Where's the shame? You
We're
know.
gonna throw you a party, all right? It's gonna be called a repass, okay?
Thank you.
And Arson, hey, what's happening? Says, hey guys, just got online and oh my God, do you look fantastic? Do I really?
She all right.
I use some new face scrub. It's just sugar and coconut oil. I don't know. It could be it. All right, he says, it's the hairstyle. I love it. Thank you. He says, wait, did you just say Weinstein and Kevin Spacey are off the hook for some of the charges? I don't know about all of them, but you know, they're getting dismissed.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein especially. A lot of the serious charges.
What actress was that? Was it
Selma Hayek?
No, it wasn't Selma Hayek. It was
Rose-
Ashley Judd.
Ashley Judd and
Ashley
some,
Judd. Yeah, a couple of people. Kevin Spacey. He also, they dropped the charges in some of the allegations against him too.
Yeah,
so.
the Harvey Weinstein one, they lowered the charges,
Right.
so he won't be like doing any. If he does do jail time, he's probably won't.
People have already forgotten about him. And Richard says Arlington, Texas.
Arlington, yes, that's in the Dallas area.
And Terry says we as a community definitely should act sooner. Yeah, like way sooner. I mean, they just. R. Kelly has been doing this, it says almost 30 years.
Right.
You know, so.
But what about this? You know, how many of us have these young girls, you try to tell them, you know, what that and they won't listen anyway. What about that? Not everybody's putting their foot in the ass like you do to your daughter.
Right. And Richard says, if you're justifying sex with anyone under 18, you're a pedo, not up for debate. No, absolutely. And that's what I was saying to the guy. Like, dude, that, you know, because, you know, you hear that too. Oh, she was fast. So, you know, she always wearing tight clothes. I mean, even heard of moms who say, well, you know, you always walking around here switching your ass, you know, you know, my man wouldn't do nothing to you and all that other nonsense. But yes, it's always, the onus is always on the adult, regardless of what that little girl looks like and what she dresses like.
Movie by Tyler Perry. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, we remember that.
Where he's the old man and they got the video and they see the girl go in the cooler and get like that.
Now, why ain't nobody said nothing to Tyler Perry about that? Right.
Thank you.
And he getting ready to come out with a new movie.
Exactly. And everybody going to make a couple million.
To go see it.
Exactly.
And Lauren says, I think some of them parents were getting paid. Sad to say, you know, they were getting paid. It's on record that they were getting paid. I'm talking about from Jordan shoes to lunch at McDonald's.
SUVs.
All kind of stuff.
Got all kinds of stuff.
And Al says, how come Lou Gossip Jr. wasn't locked up for dating Thelma on Good Times? You know what he's saying. Arson says, question to you guys, since you and Donovan mentioned Michael Jackson, so was it really true about the kids? I mean, did he admit to everything? Or, sorry if I'm naive, I just have a hard time seeing my MJ like that. He was more of a big child himself than R. Kelly. Well,
no, let me address that. What I was saying about Michael Jackson is, I don't think he did anything. The point is, from the rumors I've heard as a parent and his appearance, I would not leave my child with him.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't leave my child with a whole lot of people. Right. She's 26 now, but I don't think Michael Jackson did anything. I mean, again, he was found not guilty. I just think, as you said, he was just a big child.
Yeah.
And I don't think he meant any harm. I mean, he admitted, I sleep in the bed with some of these kids. And I'm thinking he's just probably thinking, well, we're just having fun.
Right.
Because I'm like, what child molester or pedophile admits to sleeping in the bed with kids? You know. But no, I don't think he was. In fact, we know that a documentary is coming out that's getting rave reviews in Hollywood. It got standing ovations.
Standing ovations.
That to continue demonizing Michael Jackson in the grave. You know, about this sexual predator stuff, which he was found not guilty.
Right.
And his family is actually now suing HBO.
HBO, right.
They're suing HBO. His being Michael Jackson's family is suing HBO. For trying to demonize him.
So let's go on record. Dimitri and Donovan, we're not saying he's guilty.
No,
I never said that.
I never thought Michael Jackson was guilty.
I'm just saying, based on what I know, I wouldn't leave my child with him.
And Terry says, 50 years old, that may be legal, but it definitely ain't the right thing to do from a plane of decency. Yeah, you know, it's because you can don't mean you should. Exactly. I mean, how many of those dudes who thinks that it's okay to sleep with a 15-year-old will want some dude sleeping with a 15-year-old?
I just, disgusting.
It is. Like, what can she do for you? That's why, it's a sickness. Yeah. You know, that you would even, like, how do you even, like, I hear about a lot of these school teachers and women getting caught sleeping with the little boys in junior high and high school. Like, what did you see was attractive about that?
Yeah, well, you know, me fathoming that, it's hard enough to get a grown woman to do the things I want her to do, much less try to argue with a little child.
Well, I think them sleeping with little kids, little girls, is about control.
Yeah,
it's about control. I'm a mold her. All the sickness you can think of. And Al says, if any man messes with my daughters, I will knock their D in the dirt. Well, damn. To say the least, right?
Well, we know, Al, one day some young man is going to capture their heart, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, we'll see, right? And then Terry says, I make sure I'm involved with my grown daughter's life, life, and make sure I'm there to protect her. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's really the key. It's on both sides. We need to men need to be there to protect their daughters and teach them, what's going on, and they have to cap pillow capping somebody ass if they need to.
And let me say this: not only teach your daughters, but be the example of what your daughter should be looking for. So if you're one of those dad that's in the streets and doing this,
you're talking about, hey, look at that young fine thing,
right? What do you think she's gonna go out there and get? Because a girl's first love is her
daddy. I love my daddy. Okay,
we know that.
And Richard says, when I was 15, there was a young girl, 14, that was sleeping with the richest dope dealer in our neighborhood. When the mama found out, he gave her some money and she looked the other way. He eventually moved in with him and she was pregnant by the end of the year, shaking my head, sold her daughter for a quick payday. Golly, but you know what? As odd as that is to us, that's as somebody's reality every day. She gonna give it away anyway. Shoot, I might as well go on and get me something out of it.
What's love got to do with it? There was a famous scene in there where he ran over the flowers and he's...
Yeah.
Where's Annie Mae at?
Yeah, Tina's mom took a house for her daughter's sanity. So they say.
Yeah.
And Jornell says, we have always been a people to enjoy our own hanging by others due to being programmed to love. Like Huckabuck in the Life movie. We not nice like Boss. Tell me about the gun line Boss. We got to... this is a line from the movie.
Yeah,
okay. Oh, yeah. You're talking about Life. Okay.
That's the gun line.
Got it. I remember now. Okay, boss. Tell me about the gun line, boss. Stop being Steven from Django, etc. With the whip, shooters and sell us in our own people's demise. Yeah, we got to stop doing that. I mean, we must. I mean, does the art need to pay for what he did? Yes, but to be like whooping and hollering and celebrating, that to me is really weird to see that. I mean, because nobody's perfect, and you would hope nobody's doing that to you. When you get exposed for whatever it is you may be doing. Hey, Claudette, he says he was still doing it after he got caught the first time. Yeah, I mean, as we said, he was doing it at the trial. He got some little girl skipped school and she was enamored by him. And they said he gave her his number there. And this dude wasn't even acquitted yet. So he's just more or less like, who gonna check me, boo? And Charles, what's happening? He says, oh, D, you're always looking great, and I love your Sunday Live. Well, thank you so much. He says, I am waiting on the Lifetime movie on New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft.
That will never happen.
And this other dude, Jeffrey Epstein, that I posted the other day, this dude, it said over, one article I said 30, but another one I read over 100 young girls.
Wow.
That he was sex trafficking or having sex trafficked to him, and he was having sex, or I should say sexually abusing these young girls, over 100 of them. And he got a slap on the wrist.
Yes.
The judge gave him a plea deal, or a sweetheart deal, I guess, if you will.
It wasn't the judge, it was the prosecutor who is now he's the secretary. Secretary
Trump's
of something.
Dude, and didn't even tell the victims that he was getting
Which is
away
against the
with.
law.
Against the law. Right. Over 100 young girls. So where's that Lifetime movie? Is it in production? What you know what I'm saying?
Never.
Right. And hey, Donald, he says, hey, y'all, I'm tuned in and I want to give a shout out to Ray, Craig, Earl, Shasha, all the boys at 7-Eleven. What up?
Right.
Your brother.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And Claudette, he says, yes, children should never be in a position to make adult decisions. Yeah. They should never be. Like, and we should never put them in that position. Stop leaving our young girls with just any old dudes. And hell, our boys, like I said, I know a few men who, when they were young boys, wasn't sexually abused by their mom's boyfriend.
Yeah.
One guy said his mom went to the store. She went to the store and her boyfriend sexually abused him. And the time that he left, she left to go to the store. She said she wasn't even gone that long. But when she came back, she knew something was wrong with her son, and she figured it out. Killed the dude, but it's like she probably never thought, well, he was gonna do something to my boy, you know. But